Okay, friends, today on the My Tech Tool Belt podcast, we have Ann Kozma from Flipgrid. Yay!
Hey,
And
everybody.
so Ann, um, Ann's official title is Educator Innovation Lead on the Flipgrid team for Microsoft. And she's going to be talking to us about all the amazing things that Flipgrid does and can do for educators to be productive during this time of distance learning. So welcome, Ann.
Woohoo!
Thank you so much for having me on my Tech Tool Belt. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, it's been a long time coming. We've been trying to figure out how to do this for a while, but I'm so happy it finally is coming to fruition.
You were on our short list when we first launched the podcast of people we wanted to talk to. And I think that might have even been before you were with Flipgrid officially. You were on our list of people to reach out to. So I'm so glad that we finally were able to connect and get you here. And it was no fault of you. It was all us. It was all us trying to get our lives together.
Well, I'm glad it's finally happening.
So wonderful. So before we get started, will you tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of your journey as to where you are today?
Yeah, so I'm recording live from Southern California today and have spent, the majority of my career in education. I was a classroom teacher and a teacher on special assignment, focusing on technology innovation in Southern California I started in 2001, so a while ago, and loved being in the classroom with my young scholars. I taught first grade and just wanted my young students to build solid academic foundations, but to have fun and to enjoy the discovery and the journey and the adventure that learning is. And very quickly, early on in my career, authentic voice became my why. So empowering my students' authentic voice for authentic audiences sort of was the driving factor in my teaching, and fell in love with being a teacher helping teachers. Also got very involved in leading professional development, helping my colleagues try new things with technology, started doing a lot of PD for my district, got really involved in the Q organization here in California, and just really started enjoying that aspect, being what I call a teacher helping teachers. And Shannon, that's how you and I first got connected in our leading edge certification for professional learning leaders program. And I think back on it, really was those stepping stones, being in the classroom, becoming a TOSA, being a connected lead learner, and finding myself wanting to help more students by helping more teachers, and took like a giant leap out of the classroom and found myself accepting a position at Microsoft with Team Flipgrid, and love getting to help educators around the world use technology to empower every voice and not only share, showcase, and celebrate it, but also learn how to respect the diverse voices of others too. So it's been a crazy adventure, and I feel like I won the lottery. I love getting to do what I do every day.
I love that story because you said when you and I first got, I think when we first met and got to know each other was in that leading edge, but we knew of each other before that through Q. And
Yeah.
I feel like your journey as a teacher helping teachers is really that same journey was mine as well, and that was why I left the classroom. It's why I went into higher education and became the professor and working in the job that I do now because of that same passion. So we're so blessed to have these positions. So thank you for that, sharing that story with us.
Of course. And friends, I believe, here we go. I think now, if we want to do a little capture for this bonus material, I've got a few things I'd love to share that you're welcome to share however you want with the My Tech Tool Belt community. But I mentioned the Discovery Library, right? This is a database. It's like a treasure at the end of the rainbow that people find that they might not be familiar with. And it is built into Flipgrid. So you'll notice across the top that word discovery. And when they click on it, it is a database of resources. We have some spotlights across the top from Langston League, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, Minecraft Education, Made by Dyslexia, Wonderopolis. Folks can find a topic of the day, a wonder of the day. But I just have to click on all of these partners and let you take a peek. Incredible resources from California State Parks, Minecraft EDU, the Equal Justice Initiative, Anti-Defamation League Education, BBC Learning, Adobe, Bunsey, Infinite Dance Flow. Check this out. This is an awesome LA-based nonprofit professional dance company focusing on inclusion and innovation with dance. And oh my gosh, I mean, talk about getting inspired. I come in here and I click on some of these, I dig in, I just explore. Amplifier is a design lab sharing, you know, concepts about all kinds of things through the power of like visual design, right? So folks might not know this type of stuff is fully accessible for everybody. And one of the featured partners I love to share is Made by Dyslexia. So not only can you use these topics with your students, I think about how can I drive my own professional learning, or how can a learning community or administrator or a coach top down share resources that will be transformative for educators. And Made by Dyslexia is on a mission to empower every teacher on the planet to spot and support and celebrate the beautiful power of dyslexia and think about it as a superpower. So you have interviews from folks like Sir Richard Branson, Keira Knightley, Jamie Oliver, Chef Jamie Oliver, right? Learning about dyslexia as a superpower. And I think about this as an educator because I didn't have training on that in my classroom. I might not have known how to spot the signs or supported a student with dyslexia. So within Discovery, you have access at your fingertips to incredible, incredible resources and supports. I think about things like, you know, right here, the Pacer Center, Creating a World Without Bullying. There's a program called I Can Help, empowering students as change makers. How do you deal with digital wellness? What does it mean to be a digital first responder? How do you use digital for good? So it's a database of incredible, ready to use topics. And not only do you have all of that partner content, you'll find trending topics, contents that are identified just for you. And then our team curates featured collections. So whether it's Native American and Indigenous heritage, I mentioned that Ask Jaritza series, voting and civic engagement, incredible resources from like the Roald Dahl Company, sharing creative ways to explore literature and writing, accessibility awareness, family engagement. We have our own on-demand PD series, conversations about race, equity, and justice, digital citizenship, conversation starters. So if you're just getting started, definitely feel free to click on something like conversation starters. And Shannon, you mentioned that backpack topic, right? So here
there it is.
What's in your bag? And Jess Boyce shared it, said, if you have 5 items that showcase you, what are they? But that's a cool conversation starter that is a foundation for community to grow on. So I love sharing Discovery. This is just a little bit for your community. Again, they just click on that button and they have access to all of this at their fingertips, and inspiring creators, or do a general search by subject, by audience, or type in your own search query and literally have ready to use topics at your fingertips.
And I think, and this goes back to, this could be, I mean, I have not done a search query where it's come back with 0. So there's so many things in there. This is also what used to be called the Disco Library.
Hey.
I think, and so if you were familiar with the Disco Library, it didn't go away. It just became Discovery. And you really can, just to kick you off, if you're not using Flipgrid, start here. If you're trying to figure out how, like something new or a different topic, or you want to do a Flipgrid as a discussion board, and you don't want to create one or you're having a challenge, drop it in here and just search for it, because, and you can see how many times it's been used. So obviously more popular ones, but there's some that are less popular that are going to be perfect for what you need it to accomplish.
Yeah, so definitely utilize that search. Also, you mentioned what's most popular. I love to tell people, just click on that column header. So that what's in your bag topic you used, it has generated 2 years and 8 months worth of engagement. It's been used over 8,500 times. So you can find, hey, these are what other educators are using to spark conversation. Yeah, and so I would just say go and dig in, because it's as simple as literally clicking on a topic. And I love using the Met as an example, this one in particular about making mummies, fascinated by ancient civilizations and history. Hey, that's your upper elementary and middle school social science concepts, right? But check this out. Here are resources from the Met about their artifacts from the museum. And if you can't travel there, if you can't visit, all educators need to do is literally click that add topic button, or they could even save it to a collection for future use. And it grabs that topic template and all of the resources. And it's literally like the Met handing you content to use in your learning community.
How powerful is that? I mean, that is, and if you needed to change something, if you needed to change a word or change anything, it's totally customizable once it's in your
fully
control.
Customizable. Yeah.
It's so powerful.
Hey, one more bonus.
Yeah.
Did you notice this button in the top corner of the screen? Help.
Yes.
Our help center is fully embedded throughout Flipgrid. So if you are getting started and you need some help, literally type it in and it'll show you on screen what's going on. You can navigate within your admin environment, but have all of that help on screen as well. Any questions you have, literally at your fingertips inside Flipgrid.
That's so powerful. So powerful. And one of the things we didn't talk about was it is lockdown private if you're using the Microsoft 365 environment, a Google environment, but there are ways to share out with parents and guests in the community out as well. So I think that's something that has kind of come up a couple times. Well, what if I want to share this with a parent or somewhere else?
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up. And this is just within, I'm doing a sample topic right now. And so the permissions within inside your access control determines who you want to have access and who you're going to share it with, right? So in order to remain within your Microsoft or Google domain, you simply choose that student email option. And all you have to do is type in your domain, and then anybody who has access to that Microsoft or Google school email domain, once you share the join code with them, they would be able to authorize in. For younger scholars, if they don't use a student email, you definitely can take advantage of the student username. You can even upload a CSV file to speed up the process, or manually roster students. So it can be as simple as a first name, last initial, and a 2-character username. And then the student would utilize that to authorize in. But Shannon, you just mentioned this guest password. So you can invite families or guests or your administrator or the mayor of your town or a local expert or an author utilizing that password option. And they'll be able to join that topic to engage as a guest with your community.
That just seems very, very powerful. If you were talking about, like you said, civics, and you are able to get the mayor or a congressman or a board member or something like that to come join. That's so powerful.
Right.
And then do you have a way to show within the recording session, so just as you're getting ready to record, the options that are available? Because like split screen and the writing and those are pretty new. The sticker features are pretty new. And I tried to explain to people, click the fallen down snowman that says options. Most people don't click those. It's one of those things where you just don't see it if you're not looking for it. even though it's right there in front of you.
So I'm going to stop my video here, but what I'm going to do is come into an example and I will demo for you what that looks like. So when you invite a student to join, they simply would authorize in with whatever way you want them to. As an educator within my environment, I have a shortcut. I can even just click record a response. So when I click record a response inside my educator admin, it'll pop up that screen. And so you're talking about these simple buttons right here. Creative options like uploading a clip if you've app smashed in a different tool. I love this one, mirroring a video. Say you're reading text on screen and you want to mirror the text, right? Or a language fluency and you want to do a discussion or dialogue, practicing that language acquisition, talking about author's purpose, character point of view. You can get super creative with the mirror option, right? Additionally, muting, having a silent film, paper slide video, background audio. There's even a built-in screen recorder, right? So many powerful options just nested right there, but you're referencing the camera effects, right? And I love demoing, change the theme or tone of your video simply by clicking on different tools, showing all of these different ways that you could have the camera engage. So many possibilities, right? Or not use them at all. Other things that you can do is have different frames that would be on the screen. Likewise, additional effects like the emojis. So we'll see how much of a lag my computer has right now, but you see the emojis start to populate, and across the top, different categories that you can choose from: people, accessories, music, reactions, those magical creatures, etc. as you toggle through. Likewise, just keep clicking on that magic wand to find more features. Text on screen, you have all of these creative fonts. You can customize the colors, shrink them down, move them around the screen, draw and annotate on the screen as well. Choose a color, choose the thickness, and that drawing tool pairs well with these board options, right? So if I wanted to have a board feature, now I have the capability of choosing a split screen to have as much or as little text or side-by-side elements, or disable that, and even uploading photos, right? So what if it's a 3D shape hunt in your environment and you capture pictures of, I see parallel lines on the playground, or I see what is this called? It's a cylinder, my chapstick, right? Because people always have chapstick on hand. Upload your own photographs. So all of these are just built in to the Flipgrid camera. And again, this is like where the magic happens. They can be as simple or as sophisticated as you want it to be. And then of course, click red to record and go through that process to submit it.
That's before you get out of the screen, up in the top right corner there's two little icons, a book and then a sticky note.
Yeah.
Will you talk about those two? Because again, those are two that I think are powerful, but not, people don't take advantage of them.
So the book icon is just the topic card. And when you hover over it, you'll notice you can show the topic or hide the topic. And this is just a reminder of what the prompt is. Another one is that sticky note, and educators can enable or disable sticky notes, but really truly what these are just cue cards. And you can add your text, your talking points, copy and paste a paragraph if you want. Some folks put it in front of their face so they don't get distracted by looking at their face. Some folks move it up and put it right under the camera, so you have a different sort of eye contact where the card is on screen. You can have multiple if you want, and this is just built-in supports within the Flipgrid camera to help you as you create a response. And
I think that is so powerful.
Right? And use them however you wish, or just kind of remove them from the screen too.
Yeah, because they don't get recorded. I think that's what I think people worry about. They don't get recorded as part of the recording. It's just your prompts to keep you on topic. I know that if I don't have prompts, I will tangent. So having those is really powerful. And as
Yeah.
a student to keep you on point, that's amazing.
I mean, you'll see, let's see how quickly this happens, right? Even within the camera effects, you have the ability to mirror them. You have the ability to duplicate them. So speeding up the process, I mentioned I'm a former first grade teacher. So if I started creating an array on screen just to demonstrate addend plus addend equals sum, utilizing the duplicate feature, I could fill up this screen with unicorns really, really fast, but it's a creative way I'm demonstrating my mathematical thinking, right?
Yeah. And that's all can happen while you're recording as well, right? You
Absolutely.
can do all of those effects
Yeah,
while you're
so you
recording.
can set it up before, you can record, you can click record, and it'll give you that little 3, 2, 1 countdown. Hey, my first number is 3. And then come in and you have the ability to, right? I'm just going to click add more and notice I'm back in the camera. And what if I want to add another element? I'm just doing a very quick demonstration. Hey, let's go with some smiley faces, right? So I'm going to add another smiley face, another smiley face, another smiley face. Oops, I didn't click that, right? So here's my next segment because all I did was add more. Plus another 3. Right? And I can go in and start creating examples that are as simple or as sophisticated. I can drag and rearrange. And this is just the power of the camera doing whatever you want it to when you click that add more button, right?
I feel like, again, that's such a powerful tool that I would imagine quite a few of your users don't know is there. And that's so powerful.
Yeah, and I love like you can do this while you are writing, while you are annotating. So, you know, maybe I want a really thick line and I start to, hey, 3 plus 3. And this, of course, is going to get a little bit sloppy, but what is it, right? I can move this around. I can use it as I want and literally just go through the process of creating. And let's say, hey, I don't like that first second. I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to move this out of the way, right? Quick move it. Hey, take my selfie and go through the process of submitting it. So once I submit it, you'll see it just goes through that process. The student also, if the teacher enables, I could submit a link. I could add a title. Those are all ways you can customize it. And then you click it and hey, this is from the educator side, what it looks like when a student response comes in. I can go in, I can begin to explore it. I can add feedback. I can add video or written comments. I can go in and see the captions and edit the captions. So many ways to engage, even provide like a rubric feedback criteria, video feedback, writing. I mean, so many possibilities.
It's just so powerful. I thank you for sharing all of those pieces because I think those are those hidden gems in Flipgrid. There's that immersive reader button.
Yeah, I just clicked on it too. So, I mean, again, like changing the voice speed, changing the voice selection. I'm just going to click on a few buttons to show folks. Changing, decreasing the font size, making it more visually accessible, increasing or decreasing spacing. You know, Comic Sans gets a hard rap, but it's a very visually accessible font for folks. Contrasting a theme like a light or a dark theme for visual supports. This grammar options, I love sharing because as a first grade teacher, I talked about nouns, verbs, and adjectives all the time. You can go in and customize the colors. So let's say on an anchor chart, I always use a specific color for my verbs. Well, I can change the color and have all of my verbs be green now, right? So ways that you can customize if needed based on whatever your preference is. And then these were some of those other features we talked about, like line focus, which imagine how this just supports, right? Incredible ways to use this. A chunk of text, 2 lines of text, 3 lines of text. enabling or disabling that picture dictionary, and then you reference that translation feature. So I love using the example, I have spent the last year over in Miami, and the question I've received a lot is, do you have Haitian Creole? It's in there, right? And I'm choosing to do the entire document. And now I can toggle between whatever language and the original language, and it's just there as a support. I'm going to put this back into English and just show you so many possibilities, right? And when you start to click on a few things, let's see, hey, there's the picture dictionary, right? To provide that support. So I love this, not only for English learners, emerging readers, just support. And friends, anytime you see this icon, that's the immersive reader, and it's just there for whoever wants to use it.
So great. Parents, students, other educators. Wow.
Yep, absolutely.
Incredible.
It's free. It's free.
Mind-boggling.
It's free. It's all free.
I'm so glad that we had this kind of one-on-one time where we weren't sharing you with anyone else. You I feel very, very privileged that we have this opportunity.
That feeling is mutual. I feel lucky too. It makes me so glad when I get to connect with friends, because you're friends, right? I mean, we're all like colleagues and professionals, but really you're friends, because I know you're passionate about the same things I am. And I love
thank you.
Getting small moments to really connect.
We had high expectations for this conversation, but it's exceeded our expectations. It's unbelievable. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.